almost ready to go. It's going to be Clare from left to right in the first half. Diarmuid Kirwan, originally from Ballyshannock in County Offaly, now living in Cork, taking charge of his first Munster hurling final. All-Ireland final referee last year, of course, as well. Mark Flaherty has made a switch there with Niall Gilligan. Nothing great or surprising there. But they're moving around. Referee is cautious and patient and waiting. There is such a buzz and such a sense of anticipation. Referee wants the players outside the 65-metre line. Game gets underway, and it's Clare straight away with an opportunity to try and take possession here. But team went Conor O'Mahony there to try and win it for Tipperary, helped out there by the midfielder Shane McGrath. Up towards Lark Culver, taken here by Pat Donnellan. Donnellan away swiftly and quickly down towards Jonathan Clancy, who's taken up station in the middle of the park, out near the sideline. A couple of tip players over there to try and keep tabs on him. This is Brian O'Connell, the Clare captain. Nicely in here as far as Tony Griffin. Laying it in first time. The umpires look at it, but it's gone drifting to the left-hand side. And the opening chance of the match has gone to Clare and to Tony Griffin.
Yeah, Jonathan Clancy has gone out left half forward, and Tony Griffin has started in the corner. Just a couple of changes, and you say Mark Flaherty and Niall Gilligan have switched positions as well. So an old Clare tactic, changing their team around.
Gilly in at full forward. And a big task this afternoon for Paul Curran to keep tabs on him. There's Jonathan Clancy there, just undergoing the running repairs. He's been really on top of his form in this championship, and outstanding for Limerick IT as well during the Fitzgibbon campaign. So the puck out then for Brendan Cummins. Huge one. Very still afternoon here in Limerick. Picked up here smartly by James Woodlock, and Woodlock has a go, and Woodlock puts it over the bar, and Tipperary are leading. Really good start then for Tipperary.
Yeah, and that's what Tipperary are good at. You know, Woodlock and Shane McGrath, two great athletes, and Woodlock straight onto that ball there.
So a good score for Tipperary to settle them on their way. Comes back once again towards Woodlock, the drum and dinch player. One back here in the centre of the park by John O'Brien. Oof, didn't go terribly far, but went as far as Pat Kerwick anyway, trying to make the most of his opportunity, and he has put it to the right. An opportunity wasted. A young player who came in, impressed when he played against Cork. Youngster from Killinall. Philip Brennan here, man from Tulla. Targeting Tony Griffin's corner, and the referee sees some holding, and it's going to be a free in for Clare, and an opportunity then for them to try and get their opening score of the match. That's Conor O'Brien there, the corner back. He's had a very impressive season so far, league and championship. Most consistent man, by the way, on the Tipperary team has been Conor O'Mahony. He hasn't missed the start of a league or a championship match this season for them. Vital player. Mark Flaherty, the 22-year-old from Killanena, coming out to hit this. Every free-taking opportunity is so vital. In a Munster final, it's gone to the left and it's gone wide. I think he missed the first one as well in the semi-final against Limerick, and settled down and played a little bit better after that. But that won't have done his confidence a great deal of good. Puck out this time towards Kerwick again, trying to win that puck out for Tipperary. Succeeds. Owen Kelly now, who's the team captain on the park. Cross towards Seamus Butler, batted down but taken there by Pat Vaughan, man who scored the goal against Limerick, first goal of 4 that Clare scored that afternoon. Down towards Mark Flaherty. Across there goes Paul Curran as well, left it behind. Needs support. In there was Eamon Buckley to try and help out. One back here again. Was it picked off the ground by Tony Griffin? Griffin plays it forward, goes after it himself. Conor O'Brien stops him. Comes out here as far as Eamon Corcoran. Corcoran under pressure there from Niall Gilligan, gets the ball away. Lots and lots of early pressure on the Tipperary defence here. Eamon Buckley, cool as you like, getting it away here as far as Shane McGrath. And McGrath's had such a wonderful season so far, all the way down towards Lark Corbett. Balances it beautifully, has a go and puts it over the bar. Good point by Lark Corbett, and Tipperary have a second point.
That's great play there by Shane McGrath. Brilliant ball in, and Lark Corbett has been doing all your fantastic first touch here. And made it look very, very easy. He's absolutely in unbelievable form this year. That's a great start for him.
Well, it's interesting that in the semi-final, well, that was a pick-up there. In the semi-final, Lark Corbett moved away from his man, and Diarmuid O'Sullivan, of course, didn't follow him. And Lark picked up a lot of very, very useful ball that day, starting inside. So too is this man, Owen Kelly, and Kelly plants it just inside the right-hand post, but more importantly, over the bar. So 3 great attacks for Tipperary, yielding 3 scores to give them the perfect platform right at the very beginning of this Munster final. It's a great start for them. Philly Brennan's puck out. Right down through the centre. Diarmuid McMahon has got in there on Conor O'Mahony. But Tipperary win it back on the half-back line. That's Shane Marr trying to take it out, and the referee says an unfair shoulder. That's what seems to be in the indication, and he's been shown a black book as well for that. He came thundering in onto the nearest opponent there.
Just trying to make room for himself to get out with the ball, and I think that's a harsh free.
Free in anyway for Mark Flaherty to take. Missed the first one, but that was from an angle. This is a more central position. It is 50 metres out into a section of the ground where the Tipperary fans are there en masse, and he's put it over the bar. First score of the match for Clare comes in the 7th minute, and Mark Flaherty doing the needful from a free, and it's 3 points to 1. This time Jerry Quinn put under pressure. In to help him out is Colin Lynch. Support required there from Pat Vaughan. It comes back. Great blocking by Tipperary. This is John O'Brien. That's deadly accurate, and that's over the bar. And that's the 4th for Tip. Well, the spread of scores so far is impressive. Woodlock, Corbett, Kelly, and now O'Brien.
Yeah, and great hurrying, as you say, during blocking, and that's the way Colin Lynch really, great block down there by Seamus Butler, but really Clare need to be getting the ball in quicker. They're doing an awful lot of switching, and it's unsettling them. They're very, very slow to settle.
Diarmuid McMahon touches this one down towards Tony Carmody. Carmody picking it up, the man with the red boots, spreading it, hoping to try to get it onto his left. Pursued vigorously over there by Woodlock. Hit it rather hurriedly and got no direction behind it. Again, good work by the backs that time. And Mike Mack, like his opposite number, up and down the sideline, trying to G on the team. Huge occasion for both of these managers. Their first Munster Championship final in charge on their own as managers. Jerry Quinn picking this one up. Nicely back down again after Tipperary made such a good start. Nicely taken there. Griffin trying to get away, who's being held, and the referee quick to blow the whistle. Protests, but the referee not heeding the protests. The foul by Conor O'Brien that time, so he's got a little notebook flashed in his direction as well, and noting. And it's a chance for Clare to pick off their second point here and eat into Tipperary's lead, after Tipperary have been the better side from the beginning. Early days. Flaherty to make it 2 out of 3 from frees. He's put it over. 4 points to 2. Tipperary lead in the 9th minute. Crowd enjoying it. Ball going flying up and down the field. Loads of endeavour, wonderful skill as well. Brendan Cummins. Tip trying to win their own puck out, failing to do so. Comes back here towards Colin Lynch again, after it was tapped down by Brian O'Connell to him. Towards Tony Griffin. Cross comes Shane Marr. Griffin hoping to benefit. Does so. Diagonally across. Flaherty chasing after it. Catching Eamon Buckley. Back to help out is another Eamon. Eamon Corcoran. High up with the clearance into midfield. McGrath rising for it, but there too is Brian O'Connell, and O'Connell leaves a little ball out to Niall Gilligan, and Gilligan puts it wide. That was a great chance for Gilly to get his first point of the match, and he knows it. He was set up beautifully here. Look, he was in space, nobody on him. Free chance, missed. Still 4-2. From the puck out, John O'Brien picks it up here, one of the two Mivara players. Again, it's O'Connell, nicely forward here as far as Jim McMahon, making inroads, having a go, and putting it into the arms of the goalkeeper, Brendan Collins. Back on once again to the centre of the park. 3 against 1, and the one was Woodlock. Clare there in numbers, hold on to it. Back from Carmody, spooning it back as far as Colin Lynch. Lynch having a go from 65 metres out, and Lynch has scored his first point of the match. And Clare eat into the Tipperary lead. It's 4 points to 3. A thrilling start in Portmanwell and Limerick, where both sides are giving it everything. And Clare are coming back.
Yeah, Gerald, got a bit of a grip around the midfielder in the last couple of minutes, and Dermot McMahon's out there helping out as well. That's
McGrath, low inside this time, clever incisive ball. Doesn't work out, however, because Clare backs did well. That's ripped away out of danger there by Jerry O'Grady. Straight into the winning arms, however, of Eamon Corcoran. Corcoran back in once again. Variation in the supply into the inside line, but it comes back out to Jerry Quinn. Little hand pass out to the midfielder, who's Brian O'Connell, the captain. Back forward here as far as Tony Carmody, man who was missing last year. Has a go, looking for the equaliser, and he's put it over. Superb point by Tony Carmody. 4-all. Brilliant.
Yeah, Clare really throwing the ball around brilliantly. Totally unselfish play there. They've missed a couple of chances there, but the last couple of scores, great teamwork.
This is Pat Kerwig from the puck out. Released it to the middle, and Jerry Quinn is there, announcing his arrival back in the championship scene from the outset once again. Shane Marr going in to try and win it for Tipperary. Pat Donnan on his hands and knees in there, the number 7 for Clare. Marr trying to pick it up, it runs loose, it spills out as far as Shane McGrath. McGrath takes off like a greyhound into the clear, and Tipperary are back in front again. 5-4. Wonderful hurling, wonderful pace, and this was all about Shane McGrath from Ballynahinch taking a firm command. Clare's puck out. They've been dominating around the middle, but they find themselves a point in arrears. Corcoran outnumbered. Is he outmuscled? He's helped out as far as McGrath once again. They might have got that last point. Surrounded by Clare players, and the Clare players, well, they're saying to the referee that McGrath held on too long. The referee doesn't agree, and it's going to be a free down the field to Tipperary. Here it is again. There was the challenge, which the referee I didn't like too much. The elbow was raised somewhat, and there's a yellow card there, and it's for Jonathan Clancy. First yellow card of the match. Has to be careful. Conor O'Mahony ready to strike this. Hasn't ever scored in the championship. Wonder would he fancy his chances from this distance here. Well, it's going to land short. Inside towards Butler. Comes back out again towards John O'Brien. Realised the angle was impossible. Tries to feed it back here. Succeeds. Lark Orbit. That's a better angle. That's a great shot. And Lark Orbit has put over his second point of the match. And Tip lead by 2. Clever play by John O'Brien, realising he was in a cul-de-sac virtually, going nowhere, gave a good ball out to a better placed colleague. Great point.
Yeah, he's been waiting a couple of years to get back on the Tip team, and he's started very, very well.
Well, he was in a road accident, missed all of last year, otherwise he might have been the Tipperary captain. Shane McGrath's under this, couldn't make it. Conor O'Mahony stays back, as he does so often from the puck out, wins it beautifully. Nicely taken here by Seamus Callanan. Dished off there quickly as far as Owen Kelly, and Owen Kelly has a go, looking to get a second point for himself. No such luck. Tipperary 6 points, Clare 4. Look at this for a wonderful catch there by the centre half forward from Drum and Inch. There are 4 players from that club playing for Tipperary in the starting 15. Quite an achievement. Eamon Corcoran beaten for it. Clancy got the stick to it, whips it in there towards Gilly. Gilligan can't take it, however. Conor O'Mahony is back to help out. Little hand pass out to a free man. Eamon Corcoran, the 30-year-old, takes it high and removes it to the middle of the field. Woodlock goes in, but there are Clare players all over the place. They almost look like they have an extra man. In Jonathan Clancy they seem to have, because he buzzes everywhere and anywhere, but this one has been misdirected by the Limerick-based student. Had a chance, realised it. That's 5 wides now by Clare already, and we've only played 14, a little over 14 minutes. Should have done better. Well, the crowd will feel they've had their money's worth so far. It's been fast, furious and intense. That's a line ball to Tipperary. And the possession stakes, as you can see, shaded by Tipperary. And the scoreline reflecting that as well. Mike Mack, who's done a wonderful job to bring a team together this year. When you consider that at the start of the championship, they were probably rated, Clare, 5th out of 5 in Munster.
Yeah, they've done a great job. Just the way the game is developing, I think Tip will be that bit happier. There's plenty of room out there, you know, there's lots of space, and it's a fast game and not too tight, but you imagine Clare like it's tight.
Would Corcoran fancy this? Well, this time it drops a little bit short, maybe a bit too far out, because Eamon Corcoran is an expert from sideline cutting. Brennan has shown himself to be a good goalkeeper, getting into trouble here, but needing the support and getting support. Getting it back out here as far as Pat Donnellan, blocked down, very intense, comes there to Seamus Callanan. Callanan has a go, stopped again, comes back out as far as Jerry Quinn, and Quinn drives it away out of danger, way down the field. Tony Griffin rising for it, Diarmaid McMahon coming onto it. 45 minutes out from goal, looking for a score, and that's gone left again. And Clare are shooting themselves in the foot with too many wasted opportunities from good positions. This is what happened a moment ago here, when that ball came back down off the post. Pressure on the Clare back line there. Frank Lohan helped out here well. Donlan getting it away. Down it comes here towards Tony Carmody. Driven away towards top of the left, and that was good play there by Eamon Buckley, sticking up the stick just to hold it away from Mark Flaherty, and then Flaherty commits the foul. Good work by the number 2. He's become a very solid and consistent cornerback over the season, Eamon Buckley, appreciating the danger he was in, needed to take on responsibility, and he did so.
He did it well. Flaherty took a little chance that it might break inside. He was in for a chance of a goal if it did, so you can't blame him there too much.
Brendan Cummins, 9th time playing in a Munster final, and that includes the drawn final with Limerick back in 1996. Pressure on the Clare backs. Jerry Quinn, how good it is to have him back. Out towards O'Connell, got a vital little touch to it. Out as far as Diarmaid McMahon. Needs a second go. Pursued there vigorously by Shane McGrath. Beats off the challenge. Beats off the attempted block of Conor O'Mahony as well. Nicely in, and Curran, the fullback, takes it very tastily. Nicely out as far as Conor O'Mahony's cornerback, who was there to help out and appreciating the danger his number 3 was in. McMahon jumping for this one to break it down. Taken up by Eamon Corcoran. And out of the sideline, line ball it's going to be. Well over Clare, man. It's going to be a line ball for Tipperary. Well, a really exciting opening 18 minutes to the match. Teams sharing 10 points. It's been free-flowing up and down the park, and a very enjoyable game. Eamon Corcoran to take this. Hit it really well. Brennan anticipated. Kane had to get, once he'd made his mind up to come out and get it, he had to do so. Really good goalkeeping. Janet Seed adds to it beautifully. Eamon Buckley in the corner, away from Mark Flaherty. A little hand pass forward here to the man who's free, who's Shane McGrath, point scorer already in the match. Big one down beyond Lark Corbett this time. Billy Brennan required to come out of a goal and make the big clearance. Down towards Tony Carmody, up right half forward, battling there with Shane Marr. Breaks there as far as Colin Lynch, trying to keep it away from James Woodlock. Succeeds. Oof, a couple of players almost getting in one another's way for Clare. Lynch back again. This time it's Jerry Quinn, driving it a long distance, but it's over-hit. And there's a lack of link-up play now between back and front in this Clare team, and they have just hit their 7th wide.
Yeah, even though Tip had a great start, Clare really have come back into the game, and they should be 2 or 3 points up at this stage. They've hit some terrible bad wides, and their full forward line are getting no change at all out of the Tip full back line. Cummins pucking out.
Into the half-forward line. Kerwick getting there, so too, however, Conor Plunkett. Down as far as Jonathan Clancy. All the way down, in low, skidded on the turf. Cummins. Back once again into the half-forward line it comes. Jerry Quinn there at right half-back for Clare. Losing it. Kerwick taking it. Chased by Donlan. It's Kerwick still. Kerwick shutting the grip from the stick and putting it over the bar. First point of the match for Pat Kerwick from Killinall, and he's made it 7 points to 4, and Tip fans really enjoying the afternoon in Limerick. This was wonderful play, realising that he needed to shorten the grip on the stick, otherwise he could have been hooped. Did really well. Well, that's one they probably needed as their first score in the game in 7 minutes, Tipperary. Some running repairs being carried out as we watch Philly Brennan, and there is a player down injured. I wonder, is it Paul Curran? It is.
You just see there Geraldine Doyle and Sean McMahon on the sideline with Clare just giving out the water, and I think that's good management by Mike Mack as well. You see, obviously Joe Dooley has Kevin Martin, Pat O'Connor, Billy Dooley around the team carrying hurls, giving the water, and it's great for a young team to have players like that around the dressing room, and with their experience it can them on the big day.
Well, it certainly does that. Billy Brennan then driving at a fair old distance all the way down to Diarmuid McMahon, who caught it brilliantly, and then he's fouled. Jersey was being pulled. That's the reason for the free being awarded. This is a great catch. Now, as he made his way off, watch Shane McGrath pull him back. Referee spotted it immediately.
Yeah, and Diarmuid McMahon has turned into a real leader on the Clare team over the last couple of years. You know, he's kind of an unsung hero, but when the going gets tough, you know, he generally comes into the game, and he's playing very well today at centre forward.
Well, the free taker is Mark Flaherty. He's a GMIT student, and he has put this one over the bar. A third for Mark Flaherty, and so it's a 2-point game, 7 points to 5 in Tip's favour. Brendan Cummins lashing it way down the field. Plunkett getting there first. Clare doing well on these puck outs. Comes out here as far as Tony Carmody. Carmody nicely in low as far as Niall Gilligan. Gilligan skipping away from the would-be challenge there of Eamon Buckley, driving it high but driving it wide. He's had a poor start to the match, Niall Gilligan. Nothing really going well for him so far, but early stages. One of the experienced campaigners. This Clare team, which is a mix of people who've established an awful lot and achieved an awful lot, and youngsters coming through. Pat Vaughan is one of those. Up towards Mark Flaherty, another. Broken down towards Conor O'Brien, the young Garda. Held there well. Conor O'Mahony as far as Shane Marr. All on his own. Frank Lowe, it should be his and his. Takes it away, immediately surrounded, leaves it there to Callanan, and Callanan puts it over the bar. That's a mistake by Frank Lohan, gifting Seamus Callanan the ball and gifting Tipperary another point, and Frank will know it straight away. What was he doing here? Well, there were players around him. He was trying to link up there with the centre half back, who is Conor Plunkett, and that's a bad error. Can't afford to give points away like that, and Mike McNamara will be quick to tell him. Great play on the half back line again by Tipperary. That's nicely away by Conor O'Mahony. Clare a little tentative. Pat Vaughan waiting for it, but Lark Corbett takes it instead. Trying to be productive with this move. Kerwick breaking it down. Calvin trying to come onto it. And standing some knees there was Pat Donlan, the number 7, the wing back for Clare. Got it out far enough as far as Colin Lynch, the Lizzie Casey player, to his team captain Brian O'Connell, all alone. Trying to provide good quality ball in, runs on all the way. Jonathan Clancy maybe wasn't anticipating, but he was hoping, but Brendan Cummins did better than any of them. Huge one away. Past Pat Vaughan, and this time Clare decide to link up with the goalkeeper, Philly Brennan. And Brennan, who normally hits it off his left, hitting it off the right this time. Huge one down, missed by the centre half back. Gilly trying to come onto it, can't take it. Eamon Buckley coming to try and take it away, running into the shoulder there of Tony Griffin, and the referee says there was a sandwich, and it's a free out for Tipperary, who lead in the match by 8 points to 5.
Yeah, Joe, I think there was a great chance. This is just a... Yeah, there looked to be very little in that now to me either. You know, you have to be loud tackle, but just the goal chance before. I thought if Jonathan Clancy had stayed running earlier, the ball, it was obvious he was going to break in behind. He kind of slowed his run, and Brendan Cummins read it and came out, but it was a great chance if he just had taken that extra yard.
Well, if you're playing in your 50th championship match, you've seen it all before, and Brendan Cummins is an absolute master. Lark Corbett back nicely to John O'Brien, and O'Brien hits it on the meat beautifully. a second point for John O'Brien. And 5 of the 6 forwards have now scored. That's 2 shots for O'Brien, 2 points for him as well, and Lark Corbett the provider.
Yeah, that's the big difference so far. 5 of the Tip forwards have scored for Clare, and only Tony Carmody is the only forward for Clare who's got 1 point from play.
A 6 point, take it again, a 4-point game. John O'Brien back in once more to Lark Corbett. Stumbled, he was tripped, and the referee had blown his whistle. He was trying to link up with Seamus Callanan. It's going to be a free in for Tipperary anyway, and a chance for them to get their 10th point of the match. Pat Vaughan, the player, who's going to be spoken to by the referee for that rather deliberate foul. And it could be a yellow card. They've already had 1 player with a card, that's Jonathan Clancy. They've now got a second.
Yeah, Lark Corbett is causing havoc in there. You know, he's very, very strong in the air. He's throwing the ball around. He's scoring from play, and you know, he's practically unmarkable at the moment in the form that he's in. He's been outstanding all year.
Owen Kelly to take it, and Owen Kelly puts it over the bar, and that was the first scoreable free that Clare have conceded in this match, which is interesting. And Clare are considering a change, by the way, I can tell you. And it looks like Declan O'Rourke, who was the first sub in Thurles for the game against Limerick, is on his way in. And it's going to be Mark Flaherty who makes way. Clearly they have decided free taking is one thing, but they need a stronger player in there for general play.
Yeah, that's right. They have Niall Gilligan, but they need to do something. Like, they're getting no change at all. As I said a minute ago, they've only 1 point from play since the start of the game, and you know, they're 5 points behind now. They need to get the next score or 2 to keep themselves in the game.
Missed by Corcoran for Tipperary, but he's got it back second time of asking from his own 45-metre line. Putting the pressure there on Jerry O'Grady. It breaks between Grady and Butler. Breaks on here with Seamus Callanan. Callanan coming in, looking for the goal! And he's crashed it into the back of the net! Wonderful goal by Seamus Callanan. What a time to score your first ever goal in Championship hurling. It comes in the 27th minute. And there was a moment of consternation in the Clare backline, and Callanan was in to avail of it quickly. He would have stumbled there between Owen Kelly and Jerry O'Grady, and the man who profited was the man on the 40 who's got an eye for a goal, and the 20-year-old comes in and hits it, wallops it indeed past Philly Brennan in the Clare goal. It's 110 to 5 points.
Yeah, and Callanan has been running since the start of the game. He's causing havoc. That's a brilliant finish by a young player. He was only a sub on the Tip minors a couple of years ago. Showed glimpses of that against Cork. Scored 3 points against Cork, and what a goal to get for a young player in Munster final.
Well, we've had different phases in this first half. Only 27 minutes of play. We had Tip starting out, we had Clare coming back, and now we've seen Tipperary take a very, very firm grip on this final.
Yeah, and the one thing we predicted before, maybe Jonathan Clancy playing as a third midfielder, supporting the half-backs, they haven't done that, and Tipper getting, with the pace they have up front, you know, they're running away from Clare, and you'd imagine they would drop somebody back to give a dig out around the half-back line.
But Clare have only scored 1 point in 16 minutes. They need scores from somewhere. Not with Brendan Cummins around. Nicely down through the centre here. Hand pass back by Brian O'Connell. As far as the man in the corner, who's Pat Vaughan from Crusheen. Big one down, dropped there by Curran. Gilligan was trying to come into it. Shane Marr back there, appreciating the danger. His fullback was in. Back out as far as Conor O'Brien it comes. And Conor O'Brien, beautiful link-up play as far as Conor O'Mahony darts away there from the challenger. Would-be challenge of Diarmuid McMahon. And in the end it is John O'Brien who drives it diagonally across, over towards Owen Kelly's line. In there as well as Seamus Callanan, the goal scorer. He's got 1. He'd love a second. Stopped on the line this time by Frank Lowen, and Lark Corbett had the chance, and it's gone wide. What an opportunity for Tipperary of finishing the match off, even after 28 minutes, with a second goal, and they very nearly were in for it. Just look at the chaos in the Clare defence this time, when Callanan runs at them. Good stuff on the line there for Frank Lowen, and that should have been in the back of the net via Lark Corbett.
Should have been, but Tip have been waiting for a centre forward like this, Ger, for a long time. Maybe since Declan Ryan they haven't had someone dominating on the 40, and this guy is drifting in left and right. He's causing havoc there, and maybe Jerry Quinn could do with a switch in at centre back. He's struggling a bit on John O'Brien as well, so we need to do something there.
Well, they're struggling in so many areas. That's Paul Curran, not for the first time, requiring the assistance there of John Casey, the physio, and Joe Hennessy, who's the doctor, has been in. It's a shoulder injury. There was the worry beforehand about the number 6, Conor O'Mahony, and his shoulder injury, but John Casey there, the physio, I think has indicated he can't continue. And if that is the case, I wonder will it be an opportunity for Declan Fanning, the All-Star fullback, to come in, the man who has been absent for most of the season. You never know.
Yeah, and I believe he's been struggling for the last few weeks with an ankle injury as well, Declan Fanning, so
well, change is required, and Declan Fanning is the man they are preparing, and they're trying to encourage him and gee him up on the sideline. But he has completed his day after 29 minutes, nearly 30. Big cheer for Paul Curran, forced out of the match through injury, and now it is the All-Star fullback from last year, Declan Fanning from Killinall, who takes over on the edge of the square. And look at the face. He is relishing the prospect of lining up there against Declan O'Rourke. Corcoran bats it out. 5 minutes to go to half-time. Maybe a little bit of injury time as well to be added on. And that's stopped again by Brendan Cummins from the attempt by Brian O'Connell, which was pretty tame. Frank Lowen under pressure, following it out himself. Jerry Quinn's there, having difficulty with John O'Brien, as you've heard Michael Duignan mention, out on the near wing. Hand pass well again by Conor O'Mahony. He's taken so many good opportunities to take possession and do little simple hand passes here and there. Pat Kerwick, once again, tormenting the half-back, Pat Donlan. Donlan does really well. Great block down. That's great skill. Really good work by the left half-back. Well, they need some inspiration up front at this stage. Jonathan Clancy, Hurley lost there of Conor O'Brien. Gilligan chasing after this one with Eamon Buckley. It's 2 against 1. Declan O'Rourke arriving in there. The reinforcements arriving, and the referee's going to throw the ball in. Well, Clare need a lift from somewhere. They've gone a long, long while now without scoring. Total of 20 minutes. 21 minutes, indeed, without a score. They could do with something. That's Eamon Corcoran. Here they come again. Jerry Quinn. Chased, pursued, harried by Seamus Butler. Butler trying to get the ball away. Doing well. Inside towards Owen Kelly. And they're trying to isolate Owen Kelly in front of goal along with Lar Corwin. A lethal combination in there. Corcoran once again, neat and tidy, always very decisive, into space. John O'Brien was racing onto it, but there was anticipation there by Conor Plunkett, and the Clare Castle player got it way downfield once again, beyond O'Rourke this time, couldn't quite hold on to it. Brendan Cummins instead in the Tipperary goal, long clearance down towards Kerwick, who's enjoying quite a good afternoon over at right half forward. He's off again, Donlan in pursuit. Donlan did a great block the last time. He's caught him again, Donlan. In comes Lynch. Kerwick there, spooning it back there, intended for Shane Marr. Instead it is Brian O'Connell that has it. Comes out towards Colin Lynch, the 35-year-old, way back down the field again, towards Declan O'Rourke. He holds it well this time, O'Rourke. Little hand pass inside. It was intended for Diarmaid McMahon, anticipated instead by Conor O'Mahony, and the foul is on Conor O'Mahony, and he is absolutely fired up, as indeed the entire Tipperary team are, and all of the crowd supporting the team from the Premier County.
Yeah, great block down here, Pat Donlan. Pat Carroll's won a couple of balls, and Pat Donlan there has tracked him back, and that's what Clare need more of. But the Cardinals in with Clare is they've hit 6 or 7 terrible ways, but the balls have hit about 4 balls straight into Brendan Cummins. And one thing in hurling, you have to get the ball dead, because Cummins is hitting it 100 yards back down into the attack.
Absolutely true. Clare with only 1 point in 22 minutes. Tipperary coming back. Kelly again. This time breaks nicely for Butler. Running into a block there, however, by Pat Vaughan. Coming out for his Lark but thought about the shot. Coming the tourist route. Making an angle, but straight into the goalkeeper's arms. Philly Brennan. Well, he's guilty of what Clare forwards were guilty of at the other end. But Clare turning defence into attack now, nicely down towards Diarmaid McMahon, and McMahon setting off. Clare needing a goal. McMahon, what a block that is! And it is Fanning, his first contribution since coming on, with the most wonderful connection, the most exquisite timing, showing he's lost absolutely nothing of the quality and the star quality that he showed last year when he won himself an All-Star. Watch this again. Watch Fanning in the green helmet coming across. Bang! What a connection.
Yeah, great skill. And you know, Tipper's so lucky to have a sub of that calibre to come in, but he's not just coming in there to make up the numbers. He's going to lay down a marker for the rest of the year and make it hard on Tall Curran to get back.
Well, 2 additional minutes are going to be added on at the end of 35. Shane McGrath again now. Nicely in. Owen Kelly. Nicely over. Rarely misses. It's a 3rd point of the first half for Owen Kelly. Well, he's the team captain on the park. The squad leader is Paul Ormond from Lochmore Castleiney. He's the official squad or team captain. Philly Brennan pucking it out. Tony Griffin has gone towards left half forward. Shane McGrath trying to get it out. Succeeds. Kerwick now. Griffin's after him. Good ball across. Sensible play by Tipperary. John O'Brien all the way in, however, into the arms of Philip Brennan. No difficulty for him there. Colin Lynch still working so hard. Still providing the ball in. Broken down this time by McMahon to Niall Gilligan. Gilligan looking for another point, and he's put it wide. And they are throwing so many opportunities away, and he will know it. Can't wait, I'm sure, to get them in about 2 minutes' time to settle them down and just clear their heads. Point out a few simple, basic things to them. 9 wides, that's basic enough.
Yeah, and that's the difference. You know, Tipper, you could say Tipper well on top, but if Clare taken even half their chances, you know, there'd only be a couple of points in it.
Well, just what is required here, because as we watch Liam Sheedy pace up and down the line, Niall Gilligan, by the way, I can tell you, is 1 from 4, 1 point from 4 shots at the target. John Hayes, the Muir Camoyne, long-time Tipperary official, going in to Brendan Cummins. Ball delivered to the half-forward line. Runs in as far as Owen Kelly instead. Into the 2nd minute of injury time. Stoppage time at the end of the first half. Frank Lowen, pressurised, but does well. Out as far as Pat Donlan. Driving it to midfield. Beautifully balanced here by Jonathan Clancy. Again, the low delivery in. It's intended for O'Rourke. That time Fanning overcommitted himself, and O'Rourke stood back. Clever little ball forward here to Carmody. Good stop at the 65. Brendan Cummins really went in there bravely, courageously. Such a good goalkeeper, has been down the years. Well, watch this little ball forward for Carmody, and he stuck out the right boot. The timing again was first class.
Yeah, he was off his line very, very quick. O'Rourke did the right thing, you know, just overhit the pass a little bit, and you know, Clare really, you'd imagine they need a goal to get them back into the game. They're 8 points down, but 8 points in hurling is not unassailable, but they do need a couple of scores.
Well, this to make it 7 if Conor Plunkett can put it over the bar, but he has begun to suffer the same malaise that has afflicted so many of his colleagues. Another wasted opportunity, and oh, they're scratching their hair and tearing their hair out and all the rest of it. And, one of those days. I know Mike Mack, I'm sure, is saying the same, but at least he will get a chance to say something to his charges now for the next 15 minutes. There were a total of 10 wides by Clare in the first half. Owen Kelly's team really came good, and they got a goal by Seamus Callanan after 27 minutes, which really made a big, big impression on the scoreboard. And Clare have it all to do heading into the second half here at Portnagoyle in Limerick. There is quite a gap. 8 points the margin as Paul Curran goes off with his colleagues, injured in Paul's case. Half-time score, Tipperary 111, Clare 6 points. Michael.
Joe Kelly, thank you very much indeed. Cyril Farrell, Tomas McGahey with me here watching that. We expected Tip to play fluent, open hurling. We expected Clare to try and powerhouse them out of it. We know whose game plan is working so far. Yeah,
Tip forwards are taking their scores, Michael. Any chance to get by and large to score them, and there's a big difference up front for Clare. They're missing their scoring chances, and they're a mile away from goal. They're 20 or 30 yards going out. There's no pressure at all on top of Brendan Cummins. And like at the moment, like Tip are 8 points up, Clare need a goal to come back into this game.
As that half went on, Tomas Mulcahy, the hill was getting steeper and steeper for Clare.
It was, and around the middle area there, Michael, the Tipperary half forwards So I mean, we're questioned coming into this game, and the three of them are having very, very good games. And the reason they're having good games is because every time they've got the ball, they've taken on that Clare defence. And I'm surprised that Clare haven't moved Conor Plunkett with Jory Quinn into that central position, because Seamus Canlon is dictating things in the centre there. He's all over, he's laying off passes, and he got that excellent going as well. And like, that is the reason Clare are Tipperary ahead. They're taking every chance they've got.
Well, I suppose Clare have some 15 minutes now to try and figure it all out. We'll have more from Cyril and Tomas, and that's right after this commercial break. And you're welcome back again to the Sunday Game Live. Now, don't forget that later this evening we'll be conducting the draw live for the next round of hurling qualifiers, and that'll be at around 20 to 7 here on the programme. Right now, however, we're concentrating on today's 2008 Munster hurling final at half-time at the Gaelic grounds in Limerick. Tipperary leading Clare 1 goal, 11 points to 6 points. We were talking about Tip getting into their stride very early on, Tomas, and they were pucking over some lovely points right from the start.
Yeah, Michael, and we said at the start, if the game was open and was going to be wide, that there would be plenty of scoring chances for Tipperary, and that's the way it's turned out in the first half as well, you know. I mean, long delivery inside, and great first touch by Lark Cobble, and he's been excellent in that first half period as well. I mean, it's all about skill levels at that stage. When the ball is coming in high like that, to one flick off the hurley and into the hand, and again here we see Owen Kelly trademark stuff again. No, he doesn't have to do, but isn't that a sign of where Tip have come from? And Owen Kelly is getting maybe just 2 points in the first half from play. Again, a great block down here, and again maybe a guy that there was a few question marks coming into it, had a bad injury last year and stuff like that. John O'Brien has delivered 2 great points there in the first half as well, and like scoring 1-11 up to half time is great shooting by Tipperary.
There was a lovely fluency to what Tip were doing at that stage, but they added the crucial goal to it as well, which is the icing on the cake in their first half performance.
Yeah, and this guy's a new kid on the block. He has pace, he's new, he has left and right, but he loves carrying the ball. Now here again you're going to see him, like again Owen Kelly gets under this ball, it breaks around here, like look when he gets this on the break, runs, gets it tugged there, comes back, does the empty right, swims on his left, bang. Fantastic goal, because he is foul, but he has the pace, like, and as Tomas says, Conor Plunkett is a good centre back, but he hasn't that much pace. This guy will keep running and running and running, and someone is going to have to look at the pole here, just gets away, goes back in his left and bang.
Right here by going across the defender, which takes him away, and which gives him the freedom to actually get the shot in, and that's a great finish.
That puts Tip really in the driving seat. Now that they're going to flow after this, any ball that comes up now is quite dangerous. Like, and Clare under pressure, they're snapping at shots and they're going wide.
Well, Clare were getting themselves kind of really worried at that stage in their full back line, with good reason, because Tip nearly sneaked another goal out of them.
Yes, and I mean that was I think curtains from a Munster final point of view. If that goal had been, and again it's Canlon going through, it's touched by Frank Lorna, comes across to Lark Cobbett, and I'm sure Lark Cobbett will
above
be
all the people
above all the people to be in the position where you are, to get that chance. He'd be disappointed with that, because this was a great goal scoring chance, and if Tip had got that, I think that would have knocked the stride and stuffing out of Clare completely.
But again, Tomas, you can see,
this is like something I do in the golf course.
He has pace, Tomas. That's the big thing. Yes, he go down the middle if he gets.
Yeah, I just said that just at half time there. Is the key is the Tip half forwards, when they get the ball onto the breaking ball, their first touch is very good. It's picked up and they're gone inside the markers, and they can decide whether they want to shoot themselves or lay it across the goal, and they have the Clare defence in trouble.
Because of the way Tip are playing, they just haven't allowed Clare to get into this game, but Clare are adding the pressure on themselves as well. They are getting scoring chances.
Oh, they're getting great chances. Like, they have come out deep. Johnny Clancy is a third midfielder, and they've pulled 4 out in the half forward line, really. Now the chances here now, snapshot, you know, bang, straight up. You'd imagine it's going to go over the bar, just goes wide from Tony Griffin. And again you're going to see like this free shot from Matt Flaherty, he's under pressure but should go over. They're basic things that you want to do in Munster final. Now Johnny Clancy dodges man here, does everything right, but still puts it wide. And the more they put them wide, it's like a nail into the coffin of the water. Now here again now, Brendan coming across to Junior McMahon, 9 times out of 10 he'd score that, just goes wide again. It's kind of one of these days. And again Gilly here would be usually very accurate, goes wide. I'm sure Mike Mack is delighted to get them back into dress half time and say, listen lads, we're down 8 points, but we have plenty of chances. Tack over the points, the goals are coming, stay in this game.
OK, lads, thanks for that. We have a commercial break coming up here on the programme. Join us back here in Limerick in just a few minutes. Welcome back again to Limerick. Now, a reminder that Tipperary are leading this Munster hurling final by 1-11 to 6 points. Well, now let's go over to a woman called Clare, but very much from Tip. It's Clare McNamara. She's with some of the rival supporters.
Yes, Michael, Munster Hurling final day, always a very special day in the Irish sporting calendar. We're down here canvassing the view at half-time. We'll start with the Clare man first. You have a lot of work to do.
Oh, we never got off the blocks at all. Like, you know, the team took a long time to settle. They've missed too many scores, like, you know, and so there is a goal in this in the Clare full forward line, and definitely there may be in second half we definitely can turn it around, but. So, you know, Tipperary have taken their scores, like, you know, so, but Clare haven't. That's the difference at the moment.
It's looking good for Tip.
Ah, yes, I think we're hurling well within ourselves, and I'd be very disappointed if we didn't win comfortably now.
There's a long way to go.
Ah, yes, but just have to look at what happened in the first half. We can only improve.
Thank you very much. That is the half-time view, Michael. So from down here with the supporters, back up to you in the studio.
And a great old atmosphere down there as well, obviously. OK, so we've been hearing from the fans, but now it's time to hear from two men who know what playing in these big matches is all about. And they're talking to Marty Morrissey.
Thank you very much, Michael. Well, we all remember the great rivalry between Clare and Tipperary, and '97 in particular, when Davy Fitz faced John Lahey of Tipperary. John Lahey, of course, former Tipperary selector, Davy Fitz, now Waterford manager. John Lahey, you must be very pleased with your team at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. From a Tipperary point of view, the management must be very happy. Their use of the ball, and the forward line is very good, and, you know, Conor Mahoney only come back from injury. He's had an outstanding game in the first half there. He's winning ball after ball, and, you know, and I suppose Clare need to tighten up some bit in the forward line. They're hitting a lot of balls into Brendan. He's getting a lot of clearances and that, you know, and, you know, but the tip forward stats are showing it that I think was it after 22 minutes all the forwards bar 1, 2 midfielders had scored from Clare, where Clare have only 2 of the forwards after scoring. So from a tip point of view, you'd be very happy.
Well, beside you is a man that won't be so happy, Davy Fitzgerald. Clare seem to be in trouble, particularly maybe at centre half back, where Conor Plunkett's lack of speed seems to be a problem, and the forwards aren't putting a lot of pressure on the tip backs. Would you agree?
Yeah, and there's probably 2 or 3 aspects, all right. Conor has been caught once, twice there now. Conor's a good hurler. Maybe just a switch would doing good, you know. There'll be no fear of him. The other stat that worries is we've 10 wides to Tipperary's 2. Like, if we converted half 10 wides, we'd be in a lot better position, you know. Like, they're not hurling that bad. They'd competed well, except Tip 2 wides, I think. They're taking their chances, and that's a big difference. And as John said there, like, Tipperary backs are clearing ball at will. That can't happen.
You're now an inter-county manager, David Fitz. Any last changes?
Hard to know what to... Listen, once the lads come out and fight like Anton, listen, there's another 35 minutes there. Never say never, you know.
Davy Fitzgerald, John Lahey, thank you very much for joining us. Back to you, Michael, in the studio.
All right, thanks, Marty. I suppose some of the reasons, Cyril Farrell, that Clare are hitting those wides is because of the tactic that they have played in that first half. Surely they're going to have to change that.
See, Michael, they're playing a third midfielder and they're playing, say, 3 across the half forward, and they've only 2 on the inside. Now, that leads to open space inside. If you're going to use that open space, you have to play the ball in low into that space, and the forwards have to be moving out in front. Now, what they're doing is they're getting half chances outside. Now, they look okay if they go over. They're bypassing the full forward line. They're either going wide or they're dropping short to make Brendan Cummins look good as well, because he's catching ball on his own and clearing it. Now, they'll probably this half you'll find they'll go back maybe to orthodox formation, play 3 up here. Now they're playing into India where all the Clare supporters are, might be even next supporters. They need a goal, so I think they'll go back to playing 3 inside.
Sir, the funny thing about this, right, is like they're probably at 6s and 7s on the bases. Are they bringing the extra man to crowd it out outside, or are they using the 2-man full forward line, or what are they using the 2-man full forward line to create space? Half, and if you're using it to create space, there's no point hitting balls from 60, 70 yards into Brendan Cummins' into hands inside, and there's nobody in there, you know. The one man that I haven't heard mentioned in that first half period for Clare is Tony Griffin.
Started off, got a shot early on.
You know, hasn't been in the game whatsoever. Clare needs.
I wonder if Tony is still struggling from his big cycle from last year, hamstrings and all. It just seems to have. I know he went off injured last year.
Yeah, I mean, you're out of the game a bit alright. I mean, you're lacking a bit of sharpness.
You'll find this half, Michael, that they'll play 3 men inside the full forward, and they've plenty to lose, but they've not to lose this. They're 8 points down. They'll be told throw caution to the wind, go for broke, get back in and stick 1 or 2 in the net.
Well, I suppose if you can go 8 points down in a half, you can get the 8 points back. That's the theory anyway that Mike Mack will be putting to his players, like Tony Griffin there. But Brendan Cummins has been resolute in that first half. Let's go back to the commentary box to rejoin Ger Canning and Michael Duignan.
Thank you, Michael. No changes on either side that I can see so far. Our stats expert Tim McCarthy was pointing one thing out to me at half-time, and that where the puck-outs are concerned, Clare have won only 5 of their 15, their own 15 puck-outs. They've actually been doing better on Tipperary's puck-outs. Worth keeping an eye on that as we look forward to the second 35 minutes.
John O'Brien is missing from the...
Oh, he is.
They're waiting for him to come back out.
Well, let's just wait. Tipper, there he is, he's coming back out into picture now very shortly as they jostle in the middle of the park. Anyway, Tipper back to 15. 8 points the difference at the start of the second half in Tipperary's favour. Shane McGrath once again now, down through the centre. Tipperary haven't made any changes, by the way, in the half-back line, switching Plunkett so far, but you never know, they may do so. Straight away, Seamus Callanan gets into the action, draws a white flag, and that's a goal and 2 points now for Seamus Callanan, the number 11 for Tipperary. He's going to need much, much tighter marking.
Yeah, lovely pick up there by Seamus Butler and a hand pass out, and Tipper playing very unselfishly. You saw Lark Corbin in the first half laying off a few good balls as well, and they're really playing as a team.
He's had 4 shots at the target, Seamus Callanan, and he's scored 3 times. This man's had a great match so far. Conor O'Mahony from Newport. Back down once again here, batted out by Jerry Quinn, continuing at right half back. Over there pursuing the ball but leaving it. Watching Tony Carmody now. Carmody from the middle of the park, lashing it all the way in, and that really is going to annoy the inside forwards big time, because it didn't really give Tony Griffin much of a chance in there. He was tussling with Conor O'Brien, as you saw. Getting nothing so far from O'Brien. And as you look around the spread of scores in the forward line for Mike McNamara's team, Diarmaid McMahon hasn't scored, Tony Griffin hasn't scored, Carmody's got 1 point, Clancy hasn't scored. Here's Colin Lynch, he got a point in the first half. Those 10 wides, 11 now, have certainly killed Clare's chances so far in the game. Pat Donnellan struggling. In there with the stick again, trying to keep it away from the Tipperary players. This time helped out by his captain, Brian O'Connell. Pat Donnellan again, trying to come to Clare's aid. Held on to here. Swept across the field this time cleverly by Owen Kelly. An opportunity there for Shane McGrath, and he's put it over the bar. Point in the first half, point in the second. Wonderful start by Tipperary, and it's 1 goal and 13 points now to Clare's 6 points. Well, Tip have started like Clare intended to start. Diarmaid McMahon on the 40, couldn't hold it. Niall Gilligan struggling to get into it. This is Tony Carmody. Again, shooting from distance, and this time it's measured perfectly, and it's over the bar. A 2nd point for Carmody. First of the second half for Clare. Long, long way to go if they're to mount a serious recovery. Second shot of the second half by Tony Carmody. This one's on target. Plunkett waiting for Jerry Quinn to come across to try and help him. In nipped Seamus Butler. Out here as far as James Woodlock. Got the opening point of the match. And he drives this one over the bar. Oh, he's not. This time it's gone into the arms of Philip Brennan. Thought he was going to make the distance. Didn't quite. Beyond. Eamon Corcoran. Helped forward this time by Conor O'Mahony again. Back down into the heart of the Clare defence. Lohan in trouble. Leading Donlan. Lark Corbett coming across. Donlan coming here to try and take it for Clare. Look at the number of Tipperary players around the place. Lark Corbett number 14. Oh, he balances. Some take. Clever play. Back to Seamus Callanan, who's having a dream match in this Munster final. Pressure on Pat Vaughan there from Pat Kerwick, and Vaughan copes admirably, gets it away. Missed, however, by Jonathan Clancy, and out over the sideline. Great intensity there. John O'Brien, the player who was carrying it out over. Well, Tip are playing with wonderful passion and commitment, pride in the jersey. Watch this again by Lark Corbett a little while ago. A little bit of wizardry here as he kept it in off the near wing. Little bounce, took it back into the hands, was totally in control. O'Connell for a Tip side who are threatening to take total control of this match. Beautiful ball forward to Owen Kelly, and he is wrestled to the ground there unceremoniously. And you can see a disappointed Jerry O'Grady walking away from that. And he has been ticked for his troubles. And because Clare didn't retreat quickly enough, the ball is going to be brought forward an additional 13 metres, which means it's now about 22 metres out from goal, in a perfect position for Owen Kelly to get his 4th of the game, to push Tipperary even further in front. And he's done it. Hardly going to miss from there. 4 points for Owen Kelly.
Yeah, he won that free himself. Great physical strength, Kelly, and he just completely overpowered Jerry O'Grady. And then Frank Lohan came out and had a word with Dermot Kerwin, gave him a bit of advice, and he brought it in the 10 yards now.
Well, there is a change now, and it's Gary O'Connell from Wolfe Tones and Shannon who's come in, and I've noticed that Conor Plunkett's going off, and Jerry Quinn has now moved to centre half back. So it'll be Gary O'Connell who will now play at right half, as Clare trying to reshape their team and try to deliver a winning combination. Declan Fanning in trouble. Niall Gilligan coming in. Great recovery tackle that time by Buckley. Still problems here. Missed by Carmody. And Tony Griffin can't even in play. And that was a golden opportunity. It was just a chance there for Clare as it came whizzing across the face of goal here. This had possibilities, and Carmody's drive wasn't on target. Declan O'Rourke, the provider. And he misses this one in front of an attendance of 48,076 people. Big crowd. Just showing the enduring appeal of the Munster Hurling Championship and the Munster Hurling Final in particular. Owen Kelly, such a star, keeping it away from Jerry O'Grady, and it's on target. Another for Kelly. Tipperary threatening to run riot in this match. Beautiful little pass inside here from Lark Morbid. Lovely pick-up, darting move forward by Kelly. Totally in control, wonderful strike. 5 out of 6 converted by Kelly so far. Quite a return. Diarmaid McMahon into the corner, putting pressure on Declan Fanning. Pressurised by Tony Carmody and Declan O'Rourke. Manages to get it out as far as Eamon Corcoran. First time into the middle here to the ever defendable and very impressive Conor O'Mahony. Back towards Shane McGrath. Big one downfield. Butler blocks it out. Comes there to the new man in for Clare, Gary O'Connell. Up into the mix once more. Kicked away. This is Conor O'Brien. Eamon Corcoran always up for a battle, and Clare furious about that. Really annoyed was Tony Griffin and a few of his colleagues. But that was an attempted shoulder, a clumsy shoulder, and then Jonathan Clancy caught him by the waist.
Yeah, and I was saying before the game there may be a few question marks over the tipped half back line, but certainly the three of them have been outstanding and really stepped up, you know, on the performance from the last day. Eamon Corcoran and Shane Maher are doing well, but Conor Manning brilliant in the centre. The link play with Tipperary forward is just unbelievable, throwing the ball around each other. It's a joy to watch.
That's in once again dangerously. Pat Donlan reacting, coming across, sweeping block down by Kelly. Almost in again. And O'Connell tries to get it away. Back out, here it comes. Opportunities for John O'Brien to have a go from the wing. It's blocked down well. That was the substitute Gary O'Connell who got in the block. But there's still an opportunity here to inflict further damage and to put it over the bar. And John O'Brien, first point of the second half, third of the match. He's having quite a game. And it's 1-16 for Tipperary. 7 points for Clare, who've only got 1 point in the first half, which is 8.5 minutes old. Taken here by Declan O'Rourke. They need scores from somewhere, from anywhere. That comes down off the post. Second time that post has been struck this afternoon. Once in each half. O'Rourke again. O'Connell there, trying to go in. Brian O'Connell, jersey full, allowed to go forward. Still Brian O'Connell running into trouble. Eamon Corcoran taking out, running into a shoulder there, and Diarmaid McMahon comes back out again towards Eamon. Buckley back onto his left-hand side, and a good relieving clearance down to Kerwick. Well, he bounces it on his stick, but gives it away to Jonathan Clancy. Cross here towards Tony Carmody, losing his way. Back to James Woodlock. This should be Jerry Quinn's, and is. Happy to report that Jerry's cousin Owen Quinn is out of danger in hospital watching this match. He won't be too pleased with the way the scoreline's going, however, but wish him well. Jerry again, chasing after this one. Having a go himself, and Jerry Quinn has put it over the bar. Great point by Jerry Quinn from Corofin. And plenty of Clare flags flying proudly after that one. It's their 8th point, and they're not going to give up on it, but they have a huge gap to make up against rampant Tipperary, whose game plan has worked well, whose level of commitment is wonderful. Look at that block down by Pat Kerwin. And the skill level here. Seamus Butler would love to score, but he's the provider this time. In for Seamus Callanan. shooting everything. This time he's put it to the left. Well, when your confidence is as high as Seamus Callanan's clearly is in playing just his second ever championship match. Watch this once again here. Good block down as Pat Donlan was trying to get it away.
Yeah, there's two things about the tip forward play today that strike me. One is they're blocking and harrying, the other is they're throwing the ball around. Obviously they've worked very, very hard on that, and Eamon O'Shea knows they've done a lot of work with the forwards and tip, but they're really playing much more as a team than they were last year.
Colin Lynch. And that's over the bar via Colin Lynch. Second point there for the Lissy Casey Lionheart. What a leader he's been down the years. Now 35 years of age. Taking the little hand pass there from Gary O'Connell. Settling himself. Great strike. Well, there is a little nick, I think, to the forehead of Brian O'Connell, the team captain, so there's a blood substitute required. And the number 25, who is Dara Clancy, played in the first round match against Waterford, you may remember, and then got injured, so he's in. I think it's just a temporary sub. Brendan Cummins pucking it out. Big, long delivery. Little breeze blowing across towards that side of the field from the stand side here, the covered stand side. O'Connell kicking it away. Lark Harbert chasing after, going back and back and back. He'll have to change direction eventually, and he does. What season he's having. And he's hooked brilliantly here by Tony Carmody. And Tip have lost it, and Clare have it back. Carmody, meaning business. Challenge there, but the challenge is very high. And the referee is going to show a card, I think, to Shane McGrath. He ticked him earlier, so he's going to get a yellow card for that. The stick was high, but you can see the level of intent and the sense of purpose in Tony Carmody's action just moments earlier. Yellow card for McGrath. He becomes the first Tipperary player to be yellow carded. That's 3 yellow cards in all, handed out by the referee. Niall Gilligan taking over the freeze. Hasn't had too much practice in this match, but this one he's put over the bar. Second point of the match for him. So the margin is 9 points. Clare need goals. And there's a change coming up for Tipperary. And you can see Micheál Webster coming on for Pat Kerwick now. Kerwick played his heart out. Time to freshen up things. And big Micheál Webster, 30 years of age, got a goal here when the teams met in the semi-final of the Munster back in 2005. Can he work the oracle again? That's Jerry O'Grady getting it forward. As far as Niall Gilligan is drifted very, very deep. Change of position for him. O'Rourke trying to battle and win his battle with Eamon Buckley. Comes instead to Declan Fanning. And the all-star fullback in hurling shows he might have been a candidate for the football team as well. Out over the sideline, Clare's line ball. 13 minutes are gone in the second half. And Brian O'Connell has just come back into the action, and if you see him, he's wearing number 36. There he is.
Hey, John, credit to Clare. You know, there's not much going for them, but they certainly can't be accused of giving up. They're putting in a huge effort, and you know, maybe to get a goal, they could come back into the game.
Well, Clare have got the last 3 scores. They could do with a goal here if they can find any way through, but it's very difficult. Conor O'Mahony clearing it away down the field. Jerry O'Grady challenging. Jerry Quinn coming across, trying to help, succeeding. They need everything that can possibly go their way. Gilligan having a go from a huge distance. Is it on target? It is! Great shot. 3rd point for Gilligan.
Yeah, and the switch to Jerry Quinn to centre back is certainly helping. You know, we talked about in the first half maybe he should have done it earlier, but since he went back in centre back, he's after winning a few vital balls.
Well, is it too late? There's still a quarter of the match to go.
No, it's not too late. They would need a goal to bring them back in. You'll just feel that Tip are going to keep tacking on a point or two.
Well, the Munster football final provided quite a story last week. The comeback of Cork against Kerry. And can Clare do something similar? But Tip have been wonderfully dominant in this match so far, experiencing a slack period at the moment, which you would have anticipated anyway.
Yeah, that happens in every game of hurling. We're saying it at half-time to there that Clare would get their dominant time, but it's how many chances will they take when they are on top? And you know, still 8 points down, and but hurling well and trying very hard. So you know, not totally out of it yet.
Well, Tip's last score was just a matter of 6 minutes ago, so they're still going very, very well. Pat Donlan beating the attempted block. This time it comes as far as Shane Marr. Back out here as far as John O'Brien. Great block down by Brian O'Connell, who's lost his stick. Jonathan Clancy has his, trying to follow it after. Wonderful. Gets it forward here towards Declan O'Rourke. Trying to open up the Tipperary defence. Not easy. Having a go for a score wide across the face of goal. Wasted opportunity. They had Tony Griffin waiting inside there, looking for a good pass, and it never came.
No, he panicked the minute he got the ball, and really he needed to stand up his man there, take him on, make an angle for himself, or do something to keep the ball in play and be creative. And another silly wide.
The 13th wide, Michael. That's touched down there by Gary O'Connell. Helped out here by Pat Vaughan. Huge clearance up towards Tony Griffin. Runs on towards Declan O'Rourke. O'Rourke chasing after Eamon Buckley, who does really well. Good secure corner-back play. Out to Conor O'Mahony. Balances it beautifully. He's injured by Gilligan as he gets it away. It was an accidental clash, but he's okay. Back on his feet again, I can tell you. Here's Jerry O'Grady. He's always on his feet. Challenged here by Owen Kelly. Bottled up. Lark Roberts there. Kelly too. Kelly wins it. Somehow manages to get across, face a goal towards Webster, but winning it there instead is Frank Lohan for Clare. Out of the middle of the park. Eamon Corcoran from J.K. Bracken's holding off the challenge there of the wing back. Webster plays it inside. Shane McGrath takes it. McGrath going forward again with purpose. Oh, it was a nameless ball at the end of all of that. There were easier and better passes he could have made. Billy Brennan opts to keep it in play and restart immediately. There's no time to delay. 17 minutes into the second half. That's a great catch there by Diarmuid McMahon. Out near the sideline, McMahon has a go and curses his luck instantly. Realises it was nowhere near its intended target. And Tony Griffin in front of goal, still looking absolutely wretched because the ball simply isn't going into him.
That's right, John. Yeah, Diarmuid McMahon, very strong man and strong in the air. Conor O'Mahony looks to have picked up an injury. I don't know if it's a shoulder or a hand injury, but he's okay now. He's going back in his position.
Well, there, the wide situation, and it's miserable reading from a Clare point of view. That's number 13, Owen Kelly, putting the ball wide, so add on another wide for Tipperary, showing that they can be guilty as well. I was mentioning Tony Griffin there a little while ago and the lack of service inside. He's had one shot so far, the very first shot at the beginning of the game. Hasn't really had an opportunity since.
Yeah, and I talked about it often here with you before, Jerry. You know, corner forwards, they don't get the ball, they're the first ones taken off, you know, and there's, you know, no real quality ball being played in from out the field at all into the Clare full forward line.
Well, Seamus Butler's been taken off. Hugh Maloney's come on, and Hugh Maloney is a specialist defender, so it's going to be interesting to see what the tactic is for the rest of the game from Tipperary. Eamon Corcoran wants to win a championship medal. Beautifully taken here by Pat Vaughan. That's Pat Donlan. One back again by Eamon Corcoran. Returned with interest, but returned to the left of the post and put wide. Tip looking for their first Munster Championship win since 2001. Clare have to go back 10 years for their last one. That famous year, 98. Colin Lynch. Clare still raiding. And Lynch is flying. He's got a third. Widely appreciated around the ground. He's had 3 shots at the goals and he's taken 3 points. And the margin now is 7 points. Is it still possible? We're in the 54th, 55th minute. Quarter of an hour to go.
Now you mentioned Hugh Maloney. He's gone in centre forward. He played there in the league for Tip this year and was playing well until he got injured at centre forward. Seamus Callanan out in the wing. He's after breaking onto this ball.
Yes, it's Callanan, and that's Pat Donlan back there to deprive him of possession, dispossess it, feed it out here, intended for O'Brien, but it comes instead there, or O'Connell rather, it comes instead to Callanan, who loses it again to Brian O'Connell. Touched down well by Gilligan, intended for Jonathan Clancy. Comes to a Tipperary player instead. Inevitably it's Conor O'Mahony who loses it this time to Niall Gilligan. Clare still forcing it. Gilligan has a shot and Gilligan has put it over. It's down to 6 points. An amazing match. Don't write off this final just yet.
Yeah, and fair play to Gilly. You know, in the first half he hit four bad wides in the first half, but he's after scoring a couple of great points in the second half, and that's 70 metres out off his right side, which wouldn't be his strong side, and a great score.
Tip haven't scored for 12 minutes. Anything is possible in this 119th Munster Hurling final, coming to you live on the Sunday game from Portnaroyle in Limerick. It's turned into quite a match. Donlan, hooked. Clare need to maintain the momentum. Quinn pushing aside the challenge there of Shane McGrath, as though he didn't exist. And it's a line ball for Clare. And Jerry Quinn is absolutely fired up. And some of the Tip people, including their manager, are fired up as well. The man from Portroe, Liam Sheedy, Mike McNamara, keeping cool. I'm sure inwardly he is burning with passion and hope that this can be the day. Brian O'Connell, straight to Gilligan, right into the arms, taking it by Conor O'Mahony this time, running into Corcoran's challenge, still gets it forward here, coming out to make it, but missing it. There's the corner back. Conor O'Brien, Buckley available, Fanning there, way down the field again. Now Tip need a score, just to settle things down a little bit. Instead, it's Clare who pick up the tempo of the game again with Cherry O'Grady. Straight through to the unmarked Jonathan Clancy. He's got a man outside him if he needs it. Clancy's got to go for the score himself. And Clancy fires it over the bar. All of a sudden, this is a transformed Banner's side. Clancy's first point of the match. It's 116 to 14 points. Pull another way. Tip's lead is now down to 5.
Yeah, there was nothing in it in the first half. Clare taking their chances. But one thing, they kept going, they kept trying, and they're back into this game now. McCarthy's after taking a heavy knock there off Gilligan, and Gilligan going to centre forward and Quinn going to centre back are the two moves that have transformed this Clare revival.
Clare have had 7 unanswered points by Tipperary. Some match. Didn't look possible at half-time, but people were saying, well, it's hurling and you never know. But Clare haven't even resorted to a goal so far, haven't had a goal chance really. But they've taken their points, and as you say, Michael, they've constructed and reconstructed their side, and the Banner fans are still loyal to the cause. They still believe it's possible. We're in the 23rd minute of the second half, the 58th minute of the match in all. Which of the two managers, who will be the most pleased man at the end of the 70? Pressure on again, and John O'Brien takes it for Tipperary. Tip need a score to settle them down. Oh, it's in the back of the net. That could be the match winner by John O'Brien. 58 minutes. John O'Brien says enough of the dillying and the dallying. It's time to settle this as a tie and to soothe the nerves, and John O'Brien caught it there ahead of the wing-back Gary O'Connell, planted it in the net for his first ever championship goal. That's some response. 2-16 to 14.
A brilliant goal by John O'Brien. You know, he's got one, so what a difference he's made in the half hour today. He's having Callan 2-5 between them.
Well, Liam Sheedy on the selectors, Michael Ryan and Eamon O'Shea have got their team absolutely spot on. Back again into the centre. Opportunity to put it over to John O'Brien for a 4th point. With 2:17 to 14 points. A goal and 4 for John O'Brien. Quite a performance. Yeah. This is the goal again.
See the way he met the yard from his head, just moved across the defence into the centre and crashed the great ball to the net.
Well, everybody is, I think, enjoyed the afternoon. Owen Kelly's not enjoying it too much right now with the physio and the doctor having to try and work wonders to keep him in the game. Fergal Lynch is in, and it is Declan O'Rourke who has made way. So a sub subbed. This from another angle. shot, absolutely brilliant. There was clearly no stopping it, and Philly Brennan is beaten for the second time in the Munster final. Arms reaching up for it. Clare are not going to give up on this. Tony Carmody fouled, free from just outside the 45-metre line. Well, they've got it back to within 5 points, but then Tip with a massive and decisive response. It's exactly what you expect from a team with character, a team that has won every match they have played this year. Not just the league, but the South East League before all of that. Everything was the Crystal. And then you had the league where they were unbeaten all the way through, beating Galway here, must be their favourite ground, and now in the championship. 2 matches, almost 2 matches played. They're within 10 minutes of the finish.
And you remember the last time they had a run like that was 2001. They won every match they played that year as well, and went on and won the All-Ireland, so maybe it's a good one. But you can see the difference in Tip this year. You know, they're so united, they're such heart. Clare really came back at them there and, you know, put them under pressure, but they pulled away again now, and, you know, should go on now from there for a comfortable win.
Well, Gilligan is going to put it over the bar anyway. He's got 5 points in the match. So 17 to 15 points. With just 9 minutes to go, hard to see anything other than a Tipperary victory. But if Clare could get themselves a goal, could be a nervy last 9 minutes. Tipperary, however, mean business, and Cullinan has been excellent. The team has been excellent. That's another one for him. That's a goal and 3 points. Playing in his first ever Munster senior final. All left there for him to take it through with purpose and determination and such assurance. The referee wants one of the mentors, John Hayes, otherwise known as Hot Point, to all of his pals. Off.
The famous
Quite a character.
We all know him, yeah.
He's quite a character. So, puck out to be taken again. And another change made there. Sees Barry Nugent come in. To say, I thought Barry Nugent might have been in earlier. He's come in for Tony Griffin. There he is. So, Barry Nugent coming in for his 14th championship match. Got a goal and a point against Limerick. Disappointing afternoon for Tony Griffin. Great praises due to him, however, for the great work he did, raising so much money for charity and coming back and having a go. Shane Marr, all the way down the field, batted out again there by Pat Vaughan, and this time it's Seamus Coleman cursing his luck. Well, he's missed a few, but he has had a great afternoon in Limerick. As you mentioned earlier, he has maybe solved a problem that Tip has had for a long time on the 40. Strong play again here on the half-back line as Eamon Corcoran takes it out there, even though his jersey was being tugged. Got it away quickly there by Hugh Maloney. Jerry O'Grady now. Straight into the arms, this time of Shane McGrath. Such a much improved player this year. Frank Lohan, very experienced man. His 56th time to play for Clare in the championship this afternoon. And that beats his brother Brian's record of just 53. Again, whipped away out of danger by Brendan Cummins, who is determined not to be beaten this afternoon. It's taken back once more by Colin Lynch. Clare needing a miracle. Gilligan trying to prod it on. O'Brien and Corcoran there for Tipperary, and David Corcoran almost nonchalantly playing it almost at his own pace, getting it away. Up as far as Lark Corbett. 2 points in the first half for him, hasn't scored in the second. John O'Brien with a goal and 4 so far. All the way down to Micheál Webster. Getting inside Frank Lohan. Holding it up there well. Good opportunity for Hugh Maloney this time, and he gets among the scorers as well. Good point by Maloney.
And I think that could be an interesting substitution for the rest of the season. That Hugh Maloney was been touted as their centre forward for the championship, and I think that the line looks to have better balance even there with Callanan and John O'Brien on either side, when Hugh Maloney has the physical strength there. So, you know, I'd expect to see him there for maybe the rest of the year.
Well, Clare are looking at a place in the quarter-finals. Tip will go straight through to the semis if they win the tie, as they should do at this stage. 2003 was the last time there were just 2 quarter-finals, by the way. Tip beat Offaly in one of them and Wexford beat Antrim in the other. That's knocked forward there by James Woodlock. Defended strongly here by Brian O'Connell. Nugent, introduced in recent times, pulled back there by Eamon Buckley. So free to Clare to maybe put a better complexion on the final scoreline, but it won't alter the pain that they will feel losing this one. I'm sure many people remember a final here between Clare and Tipperary back in 1993. Clare were an emerging side at that stage, but Tip won the day by 18 points. Quite a hammering. Credit Clare, they have battled every step of the way. Too many wides in the first half, 10 at that stage. Gilligan to put this one over the bar for his own 6th point of the match. And it is 219 to 16 points.
To have Gerard agreed, Clare have battled no more so than I think in the middle of the field. It's been a great battle. James Woodlock and Shane McGrath up against Colin Lynch and Brian O'Connell. I think all 4 of them have been excellent. It's been a huge battle between them all. And Colin Lynch, 3 times in play, 35 years of age in the Munster final, covered every blade of grass in the place. It's a fair indication of the man that he is.
Well, they change now. James Woodlock going off and Benny Dunn coming on. Benny, who's been one of the stars, and of course his brother Tommy was the captain when they won the All-Ireland last in 2001. That's a line ball to Tipperary. Pressure will remain on. And Benny Dunn reporting for duty, ready to cut this one in the 67th minute. Well, they're in no hurry, so they're going to wait for Lark Corbett to come across, and then in turn Shane McGrath comes across. Well, we got that far ahead, you're in no particular hurry. Could be another change in a moment. Martin Ogie Murphy possibly coming in for Clare. Shane McGrath then, the dying minutes of this game, cuts it over the bar. That's superb. Well, that's something that Eamon Corcoran has been so good at, but now Shane McGrath, another wonderful exponent. That's something we've seen people like, well, Ger Farrar has done it, Joe Canning's done it as well. So many good sideline cutters in the game.
Yeah, and young Noel McGrath in the minor match before had cut a ball for about 60 yards over the bar. It's great skill of the game, and Eamon Corcoran got him the last against Cork. Tip of no shortage of line ball takers.
Well, Clare have just brought on their 5th and final sub, Martin Ogie Murphy's come on for Diarmuid McMahon. Chance to experience part of the drama that is the Munster hurling final day. Always a gripping occasion, no matter where it's played, Limerick, Thurles, Cork, you name it. It's the place to be if you're a hurling lover. Nothing wrong with the Munster Championship, that's for sure. Gilligan, and this one is over the bar. 7 points for Gilligan. Well, it still means there's a 9-point gap between the teams, and we're into the last 2 minutes. A day from which Liam Sheedy and Tipperary will take great pride and great satisfaction. They've done a good job, really, really well. Lark Corbett. This time it's left behind to Jerry Quinn. What a shame he wasn't brought into centre-back a little earlier on. Colin Lynch whipping it away with 3 minutes of added time to be played, I can tell you. Eamon Buckley running into traffic. Nugent struggling but getting it up. Little hand pass back. Too big for Jonathan Clancy, who's only 5'8" or so. Comes out to Shane Marr, who's a strong strapping wing back. Hand passed away. Again, Clancy not giving up, having a go, stopped. Brendan Cummins won't give up on points, never mind goals. Impossible to beat this afternoon on a big day for the popular 33-year-old from Ballybacon Grange. Good hoop that time as Donald was trying to get it away. Great defensive work by Tipperary. The forwards show they can score, but they can also defend and frustrate the opposing backs. Owen Kelly, 5 for the game so far. He's now got a 6th. He's having a field day. And Tipper really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's a great score. But again, Michael Webster made that with a great tackle and a great point by Owen Kelly.
Tony Carmody for Gilligan. Came down awkwardly there, challenged by Conor O'Mahony. caught Conor O'Mahony earlier on. They've had a bit of an old duel. Nothing terribly serious. Meanwhile, three of the four selectors there on the sideline. Mike McNamara there, Alan Cunningham, there's Ollie Baker as well, and Fergie too is the other one. And that was a yellow card there for Conor O'Mahony. So 2 yellow cards for Tipperary players. Now Gilligan, that familiar style and that customary accuracy. An 8th point. Still waiting to get his 20th championship goal. Didn't really get a sniff of the action this afternoon to beat Jimmy Smith's record. Jimmy Smith played in a Munster final this day back in 1967, his last ever game for Clare. Puck out here into the faces of the Clare backs. Quinn, that's Jerry Quinn, getting it away, back down again. Buckley coming out, drops down beautifully for Conor O'Mahony. Good clearance. Back again to Seamus Callanan. And it's looking really easy for Tipperary at this stage, even if they did miss that one, a hit there. 8 wide of the match. Clare were a lot less wasteful in the second half. They had 10 wides in the first, as you know, but they've cut down on that quite significantly. Gilligan again, running into the block there is Shane Mark. Clancy anticipating that there might be something there for him. Lynch has gone forward. That's Fergal Lynch to Colin Lynch. They look for a late goal just to try and beat Brendan Cummins. And Fergal Lynch might succeed. He fails to do so. Great stop by the goalkeeper. And Tipperary haven't got it away yet. Carmody's in next. Having it go, trying to drop hit it. Colin Lynch waiting for it to come out to him, 20 metres out. You swear there was only 2 points in the game. But they're such a proud county, Clare. And they have a free. There's a great goal chance there. And Brendan Cummins just refuses to have that blank scoreline, which is against the goals tally of Clare, changed in any way, shape or form. Eamon Corcoran yellow carded for that. And a late free coming up for Niall Gilligan. Well, he's taken 5 frees so far, Niall Gilligan. He's got 5 points. Now it's a goal, surely. Just for the heck. On the 20-metre line, 5 players on the goal line confronting him, so it's not a penalty. But he's going about it in such a fashion you sense he is going for the goal. He does, and it's a great save again from Brendan Cummins. He is not to be beaten. Commanding goalkeeping. This is a terrific stop. Remember the penalty save against Cork in the semi-final? He got out to deny young O'Sullivan that day, and now he's denied Gilligan.
You can see how fired up he is. You know, he wouldn't have been happy over what he done last year, and he's determined to keep a clean sheet today.
Tipper within seconds of winning their 37th Munster Championship. Away comes Brian O'Connell, trying to do so. But the appetite from Tipperary has been tremendous. There was a good counter-offensive from Clare in the second half, up until John O'Brien's goal after 58 minutes. And to put the stamp on it, they were looking for another point there. The fans are ready to come in. It's 221 to 19 points.
Yeah, Darren, I think the Tip management will be thrilled with that. 2-9 from play from the half-forward line. We didn't see that coming before the game, and that's why Tip had won it.
At half-time, Tipperary led by 8. They have finished 8 ahead. They have won the Munster title for the first time since 2001. This was a team that was dreading the possibility of what might happen in the qualifiers last year. But things have changed. Liam Sheedy takes up his little daughter. She's always the first in to congratulate Dad at the end of a triumph. And it's been a day of triumph for Tipperary. The backroom team prepared a wonderful side. It was a well-picked team. Mike McNamara's team battled gamely all the way through. They have nothing in any way to feel sad or disappointed about, apart from the obvious loss today. Nothing to be ashamed about. They came, they did their best. It wasn't quite good enough. And in Portnamuel in Limerick, it is Tipperary who have won the 2008 Munster Hurling Final. And Liam Sheedy is the top man. First year in charge. They've won the league. They won the Munster title. They're in the semi-finals of the All-Ireland. And the crowd are enjoying every solitary minute of it. The crowd milling into the ground just to savour this moment. They're great supporters. They go everywhere and anywhere to follow this team. Next time they will be seeing them will be in the semi-final in Croke Park. Kilkenny are semi-finalists. Tipper semi-finalists. Wexford are quarter-finalists. Clare are quarter-finalists. And the battle to join them will continue next weekend. The scoring chances with Clare having 42 scoring chances, and that is 4 more than Tipperary, who had 38 but took 23, and that was the key point. 2 of those were goals, and when John O'Brien's goal after 58 minutes crashed into the back of the Clare net, remember at that point Clare were just 5 points behind. The gap widened, the gap opened, any uncertainty was well and truly doused. There was no doubt after that Tipperary were always going to win.
Yeah, Gerald, one thing you can't beat in hurling is a bit of hunger. And look at the crowd out in the pitch. You know, Tip haven't been in the limelight now for a few years, and the Tip supporters are still milling onto the field. There's an unbelievable atmosphere here, and I think the Tipperary supporters can see the effort and the honesty of effort of their team, and you can see that reflected. I was down in Portroe last night in Seymour's, right across the road from Liam Sheedy's house, and they're so proud of him there in Portroe and what he's done for Tipperary hurling this year. And you can see that I don't think I've seen Tipperary supporters so excited about the team for many, many years.
You know the sign on the road when you just come out of Hurlingford into Tip? The home of hurling. You might dispute it in Offaly, and it might be disputed elsewhere.
They certainly wouldn't Kilkenny anywhere where the sign is, but you know, but there's great rivalries in hurling. But you know, Tip have been out, as I say, out of the limelight for a few years. The question marks we were asking before the game today was their half forward line a bit unproven, and the displays of Seamus Callan and John O'Brien in particular. You know, they scored 2-7 between them today, and that's a huge plus for Tip as they go forward in the championship. Owen Kelly and Lark Gordon were the proven ones. Hugh Maloney coming in there now today, and there's a lovely settled look about them. But on the Clare side, if they had taken a few of their chances, they would have been well in at half-time, and the second half they battled away. They just weren't good enough on the day. But I don't think they'll be overly disappointed, because they'll know that they hurled well, just didn't take their chances. Really, Tip are only 3 or 4 points a better team in my book, even though they won it by 8. So Clare will still be a dangerous test for anybody coming through the qualifiers.
Well, hurling is part of the fabric of life in Tipperary, has been for over 120 years. And this is the kind of day they dream about, winning the Munster Championship. And all those who tell you that it doesn't matter, that they're going to go through to the next round, forget about it. It was Tipperary 221, Clare 19 points. Michael.
Well, don't let anybody tell you that the Munster Championship doesn't matter anymore, or that it should be replaced and there should be a different system or Champions League type of play or anything like that. All you have to do is look at the pictures down there on the pitch here in Limerick today after that victory by Tipperary. You know, it's not like Tip have never won anything before in their lives, but it just goes to show you it still matters an awful lot indeed. Tomas McCahey, Cyril Farr with me here in the studio, and I'm sure, gentlemen, you would concur with that.
Oh yeah, you can see there meant so much to both sides, and like, sure, Clare hurt them tonight. They went in at half-time 8 points down, were beaten 8 points. It was a hard mountain to climb. They did come back with the second half. They got 7 points on the run. Jerry Quinn went in centre back, made a terrible difference in there. Clare came with 7 points on the run and coming right back into the game. And then John O'Brien says, hey, there's enough of this, catches the ball, goes right through and sticks. I thought he was going to tap it over there, sticks a great goal. And next thing, like, Tipper in the driving seat again. They are a force, like, you know, like, and they're on this road the whole time. You can't beat winning, like, and like, when you see the likes of Paul Curran getting injured and it's Noss or Declan Fanning coming in and settling in full back, it'd be interesting to see what team he's going to pick when he has them all fit.
Tomas McCahey, as a former Cork player, of course, you've had great battles with Tipperary. You haven't always loved them, but today, surely you'll admire them.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I said before the game, they are the up-and-coming team. They've had great success around their age level, minor, under 21, and it's blending together nicely from at this stage. The key thing for me was the start of the second half here, and I give Liam Sheedy and his backroom team great credit. 8 points up at half-time. They came out and they went to 11, they went to 12, they went to 13 points up. Too much for Clare to come back on. I mean, Clare did get the 7 unanswered points, but it was too late at that stage. They moved Jerry Quinn to centre back. It was too late at that stage. The horse had bolted, and I mean, there was periods in the second half, I suppose, when Tipperary died a little bit on their feet, but they came back very, very strongly. And what I liked about them, when they got into positions for goals, They did not opt for points. They went for the bullets, and the goal that John O'Brien killed the game as a contest.
But also when Clare got a period, Cyril, in the second half, and you know, their pride pushed them forward for scores, as Tomas said, 7 points in a row. Tip didn't buckle. They went through a bit of a period, but it never became a crisis. They hit back.
Yeah, with Ron Webster and Ron Hume Maloney, these guys, like, you know, and like Clare really needed a goal. They were getting a few points all right. That said, if they got a goal there, put them right back, and then the crowd was right behind them. But like you'd always sense like that Tip were going to break away and get the goals again. Like, and like they took great scores. Like John O'Brien back after injury, got 1-4 from Kate Day. Like a great player. Probably wouldn't be on the Tip team for this, but like it's great to see him there. And young Cannon got 1-3 from play. A new fella like centre forward. Like you would expect like Larry Corbett and Owen Kelly. They're still there. Like Owen Kelly, you'd think he had a quiet game. Then he popped 6 or 7 points. Like,
6 points, you know what I mean?
Any chance he gets, he'll score. Like, but like they are a good team and they will get stronger.
And they popped up like a big score in that match today. Like everybody from midfield forward got points in that, and subs that came in and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great team performance, and maybe Clare was more about individual performances than the Tip team. I mean, Tip used possession so wisely around the field. When they were in trouble, they were always finding the free man, they were always putting the ball into open space, and scores came because of that. But Michael, you still though, when you look at it from Clare, I mean, Clare could have folded there in the second half and said, look, we'll wait for the quarter-final. We must give them great credit, because they did come back, and they did come back very, very strongly, but they did need that goal, and they didn't threaten it until very, very late from the penalty.
And this is a point to be remembered, of course, as the lads were saying there. Clare have lost a Munster Championship final here today, but they're not out of the championship at all by any means, and still will be a force in it. Now, you can see the Tip crowd there. They're listening to the speech of the Munster chairman, Jimmy O'Gorman, who is about to make the presentation to the Tip captain. The Tip captain this year, of course, is the great Owen Kelly.
Such a throng of people, you would swear they had won the All-Ireland. It's a long time since I saw so much enthusiasm for a team winning the provincial title. The provincial honour matters. That's the big message. Jimmy O'Gorman about to make the trophy presentation. Paul Ormond on the right, and Owen Kelly, captain and vice-captain, and Tip are going to take the Munster Cup back to the Premier County. It's the 37th ever championship win. The message is clear. Tip are back. Yes, a day to behold. Look at that. Could just as easily be Croke Park in September. It's Port Noel in mid-July. Two proud Tip men. Kelly, who played and scored 6 points.